Ladies and gentlemen, I would request you to please rise for the national anthem. The national anthem, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may now take your seat. His Excellency, Mr. Ranbir Gokul, GCSK, President of the Republic of Mauritius, the United Nations Resident Coordinator, Her Excellency Mrs. Lisa Simrek Singh, heads and representatives of ministries, staff of the Ministry of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation, heads and representatives of parastatal organizations, captains of the industry, partners and stakeholders of the private sector, our stakeholders, members of the press, all protocols observed, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Minister, Dr. the Honorable Avinash Namtoa, and the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Information, Technology, Communication and Innovation, I wish you a very warm welcome and thank you for your presence at the launching of the AI for All booklet organized by the Ministry of ICTI. It is indeed an honor to host this momentous occasion, a key milestone in our journey towards inclusive digital transformation and responsible use of artificial intelligence for the benefit of all citizens in the country. Some of you here present will recall that in May of this year, the Ministry of ITCI launched the blueprint for the digital transformation of the Republic of Mauritius. The Ministry of ITCI is relentlessly working on the projects of the blueprint, and as artificial intelligence constitutes a key component of the blueprint, this booklet is a natural outcome derived from it. AI is not fiction anymore. It is well present in our everyday life and it will keep expanding. This AI for All booklet was born as an initiative to demystify and explain AI in the most simplest terms to everyone, from younger to older generations and from all sectors of the population. Ladies and gentlemen, to make the AI for All booklet more appealing, it is in comic strip style and has been 100% crafted by the Ministry of ITCI to reflect the Mauritian context. It is imperative here to thank the UN Resident Coordinator's Office for having the booklet reviewed by the International Telecommunication Union and for all support in printing of the booklet. So to begin our proceedings, it is my pleasure to invite Her Excellency Mrs. Lisa Simrek Singh, United Nations Resident Coordinator for Mauritius and Seychelles, to deliver her address. Mrs. Lisa, please.
Your Excellency Ranbir Gokul, President of the Republic of Mauritius, Minister Avinash Namtoa, Minister of Information Technology, Communications and Innovation, Ministers, colleagues from the diplomatic corps, friends and colleagues from various ministries, media, partners, private sector, government. It's really my pleasure to be here today. Very warm good afternoon to you all. I really congratulate the Minister and your team for this forward-looking initiative which brings the promise of artificial intelligence closer to every Mauritian in a way that is accessible, inclusive, responsible, and leaves no one behind. Equally, we laud the digital transformation blueprint we just referred to, advancing a vision where technology drives social progress, sustainable development, and civic empowerment. For Mauritius, a small island developing state, digital transformation and AI are not just strategic priorities. They're about future-proofing the nation. They lie at the heart of the country's sustainable development, climate resilience, and economic diversification agenda. What makes Mauritius' approach really exemplary is that people remain at the center of this strategy, and we're seeing this. This initiative really underlines that commitment to make sure that responsible, inclusive access to emerging technologies such as AI, we make sure that humanity stays in control. And this is the essence of responsible innovation. Technology serving people and not the other way around. As we celebrate these advances, we must acknowledge the challenges also. In 2024, the digital literacy rate in Mauritius stood at 62.2%, meaning that 1 in every 3 persons still cannot use a computer. Globally, during the pandemic, nearly half of students lacked access to online learning, as found out by UNESCO. These figures really remind us of a persistent digital divide, actually, between and within countries, across income levels, between schools and generations. We cannot build an AI-driven future that works for everyone if parts of our society remain disconnected from its foundations. Digital literacy is therefore the right to information, human rights issue, and the foundation to inclusive citizenship in the 21st century. In fact, artificial intelligence is shaping everything that we do. It even wrote this speech. I'm just joking. What it means is that AI is only good as our ability to navigate it and to infuse with it the moral, the principle, the values that makes us human. So with this transformation comes a lot of responsibilities, and also we must avoid therefore falling into some of the common traps, and I quote, and I cite actually, an AI divide, which I mentioned earlier, where access to data and skills accelerate ahead while others are left behind. AI without ethics, where innovation outpaces governance and erodes public trust. And AI that harms our planet as energy-intensive computing expands faster than renewable energy supply and tests our planetary boundaries. So these same intelligence that enhances our life also require guardrails to protect children and people from its nefarious impact, potential nefarious impacts, and we know what they are. Hate speech, fake news, identity thefts, online phishing, scams, and violence. And most likely, many of us have experienced some of it at one point or the other. At least I have, and we feel that, even those of us who feel we're quite educated and knowledgeable, we can fall victim to this simply by clicking a link that comes, let's see, in your everyday life, right, in an email, which looks very credible. The email looks very credible, but we don't make the effort to actually verify if it's authentic. And I remember last year the UN from headquarters, they did a test. They sent a very authentic email to all of us, and it looks so wonderful, right? So we all, well, at least I clicked the link, and then the message I got was, you've been victim of a scam. You're required now to undergo a one-day training, right? So, and I kept getting this message from headquarters, so that was their way of making sure that we're all adept at navigating this beautiful world that we live in. In this regard, I would like to applaud the government and the minister for the announcement of the elaboration of National AI Strategy, which will reinforce the guardrails and ensure AI for good. This is really a great initiative, and we count on supporting you. So please rest assured At the global level, the UN is also advancing this global agenda through the newly established Global Dialogue on AI Governance and the International Scientific Panel on AI launched by the UN Secretary General Assembly just last month. These new institutions aim to build global guardrails for safe, trustworthy, and inclusive AI, rooted in evidence and shared human values. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget that digital infrastructure and data centers consume a huge amount of energy. So in this regard, we must focus on making sure that AI becomes a driver of climate solutions by shifting to green and renewable energy pathways. As the UN Secretary General recently said in his address, a moment of opportunity, the clean energy transition and digital transformation must move hand in hand, where AI and green energy can power both human development, nature-based solution, and climate action. My office is really privileged to have worked with you in partnership with the UN's International Telecommunication Union. And in this regard, as you know, we also have 24 UN agencies who work in the country with many of you. And we have seen some of the recent activities, such as the launch of the Maustat. We also have collaborated with the Mauritian Port Authority on the greening digitalization agenda of the port. We are very active on financial crime and strengthening the national capacity, including working with the Attorney General's office as well as the FCC. And we are also very active in terms of supporting e-health and digital governance and maritime security. So these are just some of the areas that we work with. And we really look forward, colleagues, to really continue this partnership, because without partnership, collaboration, and co-creation, we cannot have the transformative impact that we all aspire to. So rest assured that we're here to stand side by side with you, and we look forward to building a trusted, ethical, and human-centered digital ecosystem that works for all. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It will be offered to you by Kamlesh. Yes, if you would please remain with us for the bouquet by Mr. Kamlesh on behalf of the Ministry, please. Ladies and gentlemen, since Dr. the Honorable Avinash Ramtwal took office at the Ministry of ITCI, he has been fully engaged in re-engineering the ICT landscape of Mauritius. Through his vision, dedication, and commitment, the sector is on the move. And now I have the pleasure to invite Dr. the Honorable Avinash Ramtwal, Minister of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation, to address the audience, please.
His Excellency Dharamveer Gokul Ji, CSK President of the Republic of Mauritius, Her Excellency Mrs. Lisa Singh Simrit, UN Resident Coordinator, heads of organizations, representatives of the private sector, captains of the industry, members of the press, the team from the Ministry of IT, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. And thank you for joining us on this very important day today for us, the Ministry of IT, and also for the country. It goes without saying that a person who does not use AI today in his personal, professional, social, familial life will be overtaken by others who do it. An organization that doesn't use AI for these purposes will also be overtaken. So will a nation. A country that does not use artificial intelligence for its activities will be overtaken. And we have already seen the strong drive around India, China, the US, and Europe. Each of them is fighting to find the place of leadership with regards to AI, because AI has already started shaping the world. AI is converting potential into performance. And there is no question as to whether we will do AI or not, because we have already started doing it. The private sector in Mauritius has taken the leap forward, and the public sector will not be too far behind the private sector in the first instance. And therefore we have actually sought the help of the private sector. Many of you in this audience is a member of the committee which is working towards drafting the AI strategy for Mauritius. There are several legs in that strategy, one of which is capacity building. Capacity building for professionals, and there also is capacity building for the nation at large. This is why. This is why we deemed it important to have a reference which is very much and very well understandable and understood by all stratas of the society. And this idea actually was the birth of what we are going to unveil today. You would have seen the character on my left. You would have seen the prints on the t-shirts on my right. And nothing on top. Do we talk about the character now? All right, so there is this character called Diva, D-I-V-A. And Diva is for Digital Interactive Virtual Assistant. And Diva will be the AI partner of every Mauritian going forward once we've completely put life into Diva. So what we will see today is actually how Diva is helping create awareness among people, among the population. If we shift to another layer of the society, some people working within the professional arena, I remember one phone call that a person received, and that was a callback, which a management company did. They always do callbacks for verification. And that callback on the other line, in as much as the number was the same, the voice was the same, it wasn't the actual person who should have given approval for a transfer of around $700,000. The voice was an AI voice, which mimicked the voice of the actual person. Now, these types of scams are not new to our landscape anymore. We also receive, or we see, elements of generative AI, which actually give certain messages to people. They tell you you can invest in this place, or they tell you that, there is a specific or a parcel that has come to your attention at the post office, and you're called upon to effect an initial payment so you can go and take delivery of your parcel. These types of things are now common in our environment, and they will become more and more common, more and more prevalent. Where I see it really hurtful is where our youth are falling victim of these types of scams, and some of them are even committing things that cannot be undone. And we've seen that. Last week, there was one case. A few days back, before that, there was one case. Now, how can we, using AI, create more awareness and also identify these types of challenges and mitigate the risks that they pose to our nation? This is how we also want to use AI. So AI is here to help us in every field that we can think of, whether it is education, health, safety, law and order. It can do all of that. The moment you woke up this morning, you started generating data. And AI would actually project where you would be by 7 p.m. this evening. So in terms of projecting what could be the next event based on previous parameters and heuristics is food to AI. Because AI strives on volume, variety, and velocity of data. And we are therefore thinking that AI has obviously a lot of good sides to it, which we will get to see through DIVA. There also happen to be the flip side of AI. Therefore, it is critical that we define the right framework within which AI will be developed and used within the country, without stifling innovation, but with or by sticking to our principles. So there are principles of fairness, principles of justice, principles of transparency and accountability, all that actually form the governance framework that we require for running AI in an effective manner in the country. And let me just bring an example here for all of us to put it into perspective. There is this device at a hospital which actually does inspection of the state of the heart. And by way of that, you can understand whether this person is or will soon be a patient of heart disease. And these types of machines, they have a rate, they have an error rate. So there are false positives. And in case of a false positive, this person is sent for an operation, which was, finally not really required. Who assumes accountability and responsibility for that action? The Ministry of Health, the operator of the machine, or the machine itself, that is the manufacturer of the machine. So these situations need to be clarified at law. And today, we do not have that clarity. Therefore, accountability becomes very important. We know we have the Equal Opportunities Act in Mauritius, and somebody acquires a HR system which is doing an automated matching, rejection, and selection. And it will do that based on certain parameters of that person. Parameters means data, and that data could have bias into it. Or somebody would have put an algorithmic bias. When I say algorithmic bias, very simple to understand. Let's say I'm writing a program for Mauritius Revenue Authority, and at the back door I say if the taxpayer name is Avinash Ramtowal, then multiply tax payable into 0. So I never pay taxes. Right? This is an algorithmic bias. And a question that comes to the mind is, do we have an institution in Mauritius that will verify algorithmic bias? No, we don't. It is important for systems that have a high requirement for safety integrity level to have these types of checks done. So coming back to the example of HR system. Now this system is automatically rejecting people, and this person has the same rights as the other person who got accepted. Because there was algorithmic bias, this person got rejected. Now again, who assumes the responsibility? You can go and look into the algorithm. But then, this algorithm is protected by the Trade Secrets Act for this company. How do we now get to the real working of it? Because AI is so complex that it becomes difficult for a human to understand whether the algorithm is correct or wrong. Now, do we get AI to verify AI? Do we get AI to check AI? Just like people are using AI to write viruses, likewise, people are using AI to write antiviruses. And if you want to watch a movie today, Mr. Bigu, you want to watch Marilyn Monroe with Amitabh Bachchan, okay? And you write your own story, you write how you want it to start, you write how you want it to end, you want it to last 2 hours, and you sit and you watch those characters. You can generate that via AI. So even the entertainment industry, they are benefiting from it, yes, but on the other hand, there are risks as well. Like I took the example of Amitabh Bachchan. He actually got his avatar registered so that no one uses his avatar for their own productions. So the landscape is changing. Now, again, coming back to our environment here, I think that we have already taken off with regards to the journey for AI, and this is the beginning. There is a lot to be done. For example, we spoke about this AI strategy. And I'm very pleased that the work is going on well. I'm looking forward to having the first cut of the strategy very soon. We have this AI regulation that we have to establish, whether it will be based on European Union model, risk-based, or British model, principles-based. This needs discussions, this needs consultation, and we will consult with all our stakeholders before we actually cross certain steps. We also need to establish, and the work has started, the AI office, and you would recall that it was in the budget. And I'm also pleased that the President is here. The focus that the President laid on the government program during his speech was actually unique so far in Africa, and I can tell you that. We are following what Africa is doing as well, and we've got a couple of brothers and sisters competing with us in Africa too. But we, as we used to be, probably 15, 20 years back, we used to be a lion in the African region. Let me call it a digital lion in the African region. Later, we actually got reduced to a small cat. But we are fighting our way back. And we will not give in without a fight. We will. We are fighting to get our position back on the African digital map. Having said this, I would like to also welcome our friends from India. So we have a delegation from India who has joined us today. May we have you rise so we can see you, please? And can you just clap for them? They are. Thank you very much. So they are here in the context of the visit that we did as part of the delegation led by the Prime Minister in India. And we'll be doing some work around AI and security too. I don't want to be too long here. I would like to, however, thank the UN, Mrs. Lisa Simrick, for all the support together with her team. I would like to also thank the team from Ministry of IT. They know who they are. I don't want to mention names. Everybody contributed. Some contributed a lot, and it was really hard work for this production. And I look forward to having the country consume the knowledge which is in there. So for obvious reasons, we've got some copies made, and we will have it online. Those organizations that feel like they want to print it for certain purposes, for example, in our country, there are around 1.2 million people. There are 2.4 million, 1.2 million people, 2.4 million mobile phones, and 2% of those mobile phones are not smartphones. Right? So there are people who will not be able to access them, and if we want to ensure that we have an inclusive journey towards digital transformation and AI, some of you might want to take the lead and print some of them, and we can do that collaboratively. Digital transformation is an ecosystem. The ministry cannot do it on its own. This is why you are here. And I can tell you for a fact, 12 months back, if we had a similar event here, the crowd mix would not have been the same. So we actually opened our horizons to work even closer with the private sector. So now it is not just the PPP model, but it is the 4 Ps, public, private, people partnership, because we want the people to be together with us. And this publication targets mainly the people. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you very much, and thank you, President, for gracing this function today. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Please accept a bouquet offered to you by Dushika on behalf of the Ministry. And thank you for your leadership in advancing the nation's innovation and digital transformation strategy. Thank you. His Excellency, Mr. Tarabir Gokul, we are grateful that for your unwavering support to the Ministry's initiative toward building a digitally empowered and inclusive Mauritius. It is now my distinct honor to invite His Excellency, Mr. Tarabir Gokul GCSK, President of the Republic of Mauritius, to deliver his address. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, please, His Excellency, please join me on stage. We have a special guest today in our midst who would want to greet you. Well, our special guest may greet the Minister and Mrs. Singh also. Oh, he's up for a pose, for a photo, I think. So he's greeting all of us, Thank you. So over to you, His Excellency, for your address. Thank you.
Dr. the Honorable Avinash Ramdwal, Minister of IT, Communication and Innovation, Her Excellency Ms. Lisa Simrik-Singh, UN Resident Coordinator for Mauritius and Seychelles, Honorable Members of the Parliament, distinguished audience, esteemed representatives of the private sector and collaborators, distinguished guests, members of the media, all. Let me start by wishing you a very good afternoon. Well, I'll start with a remark which I'm now making at every event that I attend. When I'm invited, I'm invited to all kinds of functions and in different spheres. So when I have to address before me, we have several speakers who have already addressed the audience. And then I have to address, and the expectation is quite high. Because there are so many subjects, I'm not a specialist. I'm more of a generalist, right? So it makes my job a bit difficult, but I try. And I'm going to try this afternoon as well. Well, after having listened to Her Excellency Lisa Singh, and I would like to thank the UN Resident Coordinator, because if you look at the different collaboration which are ongoing in this sector, it's really remarkable. And I can see if these collaborations have the impact, the transformation that is going to take place very soon. So thank you for all the collaboration that is being extended to the government. Second remark is the Honorable Minister of IT. When I came, I was welcomed by two people. And the first thing they said, we have been your students. Now, Dr. Avinash Ramdwal, he was a student of the university, and then he went on to study further and did his PhD. And the permanent secretary, who is sitting right in front of me, has also been a student of the University of Mauritius, where I have been an academic. So it's a small world, and you come across people you have met in the past, and now you see them occupying very high position. I'm very proud of you. Right, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to be with you this afternoon for the launch of the AI for All, AI Kunutu booklet, a laudable and meaningful initiative in an era of rapid technological transformation. Yes, this is yet another special occasion for me to be associated with the journey of digital transformation that our Republic is going through. I don't have an IT or AI background, but being in the field of education for quite a long time, learning is part of my nature. So we try to learn and try to make the most of it, because when the new government was formed and Avinash became the Minister of IT, immediately we reconnected, and I told him that this is going to be the ministry that you're occupying, is going to be a strategic ministry, and I would like to come in and help in whatever way we can. And ever since, we have been collaborating and ensuring that the agenda moves ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, it all started with a government program, A Bridge to the Future, which I had the opportunity to present to the nation on Friday, 24th January 2025. We made two important pledges: transforming Mauritius into a high-tech, intelligent island, and secondly, digital rights and citizens' privacy protection. They have to go together. And this pledge, we made it in our government program. On April 5th, 2025, after January, in April 2025, at a forum of the Mauritius Internet Governance Forum, IGF, here itself. That was the forum that was held here, organized by the Halley movement on the theme AI, cyber security, digital trust, pioneering a secure future. I stated, our vision is to position Mauritius as a hub for digital innovation and cybersecurity excellence in the region. This includes promoting digital inclusion, strengthening cybersecurity, and harnessing AI for good. Therefore, on May 26 May 2025, while launching the blueprint, I was again associated with this blueprint on digital transformation. I stated, and I quote, the launch of this digital transformation blueprint 2025-2029 is a defining moment in the history of our republic, a moment that sets the tone for the future we seek to build, inclusive, innovative, resilient, and environmentally sustainable and distinctly Mauritian. Ladies and gentlemen, at the Internet Governance Conference in Norway, where I participated, the main focus was to reflect on the principles, people, and processes that shape inclusive and effective governance of digital space. Therefore, against this background, we can now contextualize the AI booklet. I didn't know about this booklet being produced, but then for this event, I was contacted and I was informed that there is this booklet which was being prepared. Well, we have discussed the issue of how to make Mauritius, the Republic, part of this digital transformation process. So I was very happy to learn that this booklet was being prepared so that it will enable all Mauritians to come and be familiar with AI and then navigate in this digital world. So ladies and gentlemen, this AI booklet to be launched today and its accompanying video are a concrete demonstration. We mean business, right? Government means business. Are a concrete demonstration of inclusive and safe digital transformation in action. Let me make one small digression with your permission. You know, when you look at the media, the social media, if you take a look at what is being written and discussed, you might think that nothing good is happening in this country because good news is no news. And that's why I make an appeal, at this stage where our country is going through a major transformation, we need to differentiate between what is good news and bad news, right? This is an issue that needs to be addressed, and I invite the media people, let's not paint the picture black, right? Very often we see, when we look at the news, it's all black. It's not all black. Things are happening and we should be able to notice and mention them wherever we can. Ladies and gentlemen, this booklet brings artificial intelligence down from the clouds and places it gently into the hands of every Mauritian. Through its friendly guide, Diva, the digital interactive virtual assistant, this publication teaches us that AI is not about machines taking over. It is about people taking charge. It explains technology not through fear or jargon, but through stories, empathy. This is an old pedagogical system. This is where, it's amazing how classics and computers combine. Go back how we were taught through stories, So, through stories, empathy, and imagination, reminding us that behind every algorithm are human hopes, choices, and values. It reveals the potential for AI for inclusive national development, while underlining the need for fairness, transparency, and trust. It reminds us that digital progress must never be limited to the privileged few. It also reminds us, and this is something I will never forget, what Dr. APG Abdul Kalam, I see some of our friends from India, I'm referring to the visit of Dr. APG Abdul Kalam, the President of the Republic of India, who visited Mauritius, and he met me at Rajiv Gandhi Science Center. And we had a conversation. In fact, he spent a whole day with me. And he left one important message, and I mentioned it here. Technology has no value. This was said by Dr. Abdul Kalam, the President of India. Technology has no value if it doesn't improve the lives of the common people. And I am talking to people who are experts in this area. Keep that in mind. Whatever we do, the impact should be on the common people. Ladies and gentlemen, every citizen, regardless of age, ability, gender, or background, must have the opportunity to participate in and benefit from this transformation. It is this very ethos that is behind the Learn AI school project. At the State House, we do not undertake big projects, but we do partner. Wherever I feel that State House should come in, State House comes in. For example, we wanted to encourage our youth, with all the digital devices, AI, they don't write anymore. And writing is very important for the development of intelligence and personality. So what we did, we started a national essay competition, and the students participated. The next project we undertook was the Learn AI School, LearnAI.School project for secondary schools, where my office has partnered with the Ministry of ITCI and Ministry of, and it's working beautifully. This is a project which is working beautifully in our secondary schools. Through the Learn AI program, we are ensuring that our youngsters at the school can understand, engage with, and from artificial intelligence. So many initiatives are being taken because AI literate nation, an AI literate nation is a future ready nation. Ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned by the Honorable Minister, AI is a very complex field, very complex, and it is moving very, very fast. DIVA will have a lot of work to do to keep up, to catch up, and also to bring it to the people. So, for example, as AI poses both immense potential and profound risk. If guided ethically, it could solve some of humanity's greatest challenges like climate change, disease, poverty, and more. So this transformation demands introspection at every stage. We need to ask ourselves whether we are going in the right direction or we have to correct the trajectory. For example, it forces us to ask, how do we ensure that these systems benefit everyone, not just a few? How do we align this technology with our values, with our responsibility for future generations? And equally, how do we reconcile the benefits of AI with its unintended consequences, socially, psychologically, and environmentally? Our Digital Transformation Blueprint 2025-2029 outlines a bold, inclusive roadmap for integrating AI into our developmental agenda, anchored in 3 key principles: digital equity, human centricity, and environmental responsibility. Our vision must be clear: a digital intelligent society that includes all Mauritians, leaves no one behind, and is built on trust. By combining research with compassion and progress with purpose, we can demonstrate that technology and humanity can move forward not as rivals, but as partners. Through collaboration with academia, the private sector, international organizations, we will continue to build a future where every citizen feels connected, capable, and confident in the digital world. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate the launch of AI for All booklet today, let us see it as another milestone in our digital transformation journey. Congratulations to the Minister, his team, dynamic team, and all his valuable collaborators. Let us commit to building an AI future that is innovative, inclusive, I lay emphasis on this word, ethical, powerful yet compassionate, and intelligent yet profoundly human. Today, we can build a smarter Mauritius, one that thinks boldly, acts responsibly, and cares deeply, as one people, as one nation, and yes, as one humanity. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, His Excellency. Please accept the bouquet from Dunashita on behalf of the Ministry, please. I would request His Excellency to please remain on stage for the highlight of today's event, that is the official launching of the AI for All booklet. I request Dr. the Honorable Avinash Ramtewal and Her Excellency Mrs. Lisa Simrik Singh to please join the President for the launching. Ria will please present the booklet to His Excellencies and to the Excellencies and the Minister. Okay, thank you. I will request that you please remain on stage for the Honorable Minister to remit a copy of the second edition of the Ministry's newsletter to His Excellency the President and to Her Excellency Mrs. Singh. The newsletter, ladies and gentlemen, may be accessed on the website of the Ministry of Information, Technology, Communication and Innovation. Thank you, Excellencies, and thank you, Honorable Minister.
And it's going to be the national name, right? Everybody has to start. No Tiva, you say Tiva, you say no names,
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our booklet is in English, but we also have a Creole version. And, comme d'habitude, nous ne pouvons pas oublier nos créoles, mauriciens bien sûr. Alors là, le livre nous fait pour reach à toute la population, mais nous avons aussi une animated version de ce livre-là, en créole, qui nous peut broadcast, qui peut diffuser, pour qu'il est capable d'arriver à un maximum de personnes. Alors là, nous demandons le président pour faire le launching et nous avons de chita qui peut faire le nécessaire et que nous prenons sa animated version là qui peut jouer pour nous. Alors nous demandons tout, nous un petit peu qui dit va capable avec nous dans la vie de tous les jours.
Moi c'est Diva, Monéal et votre camarade.
Trop dope! T'es capable de montrer-moi plus?
Bien sûr, moi découvert ça les mondes extraordinaires et à l'art. Donc relax et toi aussi. Fofo, attends, Fofo, elle. Mais hier, si tu retournes tout chose.
Oh, mabuti ko po noon yung aksyon. Inenta video lo si mo. Bisa na ba tablet?
Aïda, mon film trouvé qui peut expliquer par vidéo similaire à moi.
Diba? Bumalik na makas.
Bonsoir Samira, bienvenue. Napatrakal, beaucoup qui
Merci, Diva, tu m'aider. Tu connais ce qui m'a envie et ce qui m'a déjà expliqué.
AI passe pour confort. Il donne du monde avec défis, mobilité, indépendance, dignité et la joie. AI, c'est pour tout le monde.
Allô, Diva? Demande pour savoir son petit peu parti à là.
N'a pas tracassé. Beaucoup servent GPS et de caméra publique. Tourne un peu dans droite, mouse droite, ouvert. Allez, niveau l'oxygène, M. Guégué finit ça. Et que ce battement l'éclair par l'idée. Médiation droite, l'aide féminine.
Ayo, vous êtes décalé là, vite, vite.
Stop! Ça, un phishing scam. De l'avant, ça met par de toi un lien comme ça ou tu demandes toi des caractères personnels.
Tchou! Tu peux vous perdre tout, petit fille.
Hé, Saka, du directeur, mais tu salis papa. Allez, porte sa vidéo là, vite.
Hein? Qui est? Pas moi ça.
À tous affaires dans Internet, tout le temps, vous avez vérifié la source. Et AI est capable de faire une vidéo fausse, mais qui paraît tellement vraie. L'intelligence artificielle n'est pas une affirmation ni une science-fiction, mais comme un camarade tous les jours qui vivent avec nous, qui nous visent à observer correctement et dans une façon éthique. Et AI et nos camarades.
So ladies and gentlemen, that was our Diva in action. So both the booklet and the video can be accessed on the website of the ministry. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, marks the end of the official proceedings. On behalf of Dr. the Honorable Avinash Ramtwal and the Ministry of ICTI, I thank the Office of the United Resident Coordinator, the ITU, the ICTA who has helped for this video, the staff of the Ministry of ITCI, Mauritius Telecom, GIS, the dogs, Mr. Nitin, Mr. Arvind, our sponsors, well-wishers, members of the press, and you, ladies and gentlemen, who are here today to extend your support to the initiatives of the Ministry of Information, Technology, Communication and Innovation. So now, I would invite you to join us for refreshments and further networking. Thank you all once again and have a pleasant afternoon.
Yes,